folks. It is 11:28 a.m. Central Standard Time on April the 18th, 2022. Hope our Creator is keeping you well and safe wherever you are in the world. Please make sure to hit that like button and share this across other platforms to bring awareness of what's going on out in our solar system. And please make sure, if you're new, hit that subscribe button and notification bells for any critical future updates. As we can see, a pulse of X-rays from the flare produced yesterday was a strong shortwave radio blackouts over Southeast Asia and Australia. Mariners, aviators, and ham radio operators did actually report that they noticed unusual propagation effects at frequencies that were below 30 hertz. But spoiler alert, sorry, it's not going to be hitting the Earth. All right. On April 17th, Sunspot Complex 2993 and 2994 appeared and then promptly exploded right as it was coming across a limb. NASA Solar Dynamic Observatory did record it as an X1.17. However, chronograph images that we're looking at here from SOHO confirmed that the explosion did hurl a CME into space. No analysts have modeled the CME's trajectory and determined that it will miss Earth, which we've already looked at, and it'll be passing behind our planet in its orbit around the sun. Meanwhile, though, get ready for some more flares. The Sunspot group has been extremely active, and it is not showing any signs of slowing down. It has been hurling coronal mass ejections and plumes of plasma into space from its location when it was on the far side of the sun. Now remember, this is Sunspot 2975 returning around, but because they don't have eyes on it the whole time, they don't keep it with the same name. It gets a new Sunspot group name as it comes around, and as it did come around, it actually split up into more than one sunspot group, and we will take a look at those here in just a moment. Increased solar activity continues with a fairly impulsive M4.4 solar flare detected at 22:34 UTC time on Sunday evening, April the 17th. This time it was from active region 2992, as we see here, nearing the southwest limb, getting into the action. Other than a brief radio blackout, no major effects are expected from this quick solar flare, however. Moderate to strong solar activity will remain possible during the next 7 to 8 days, from both active regions 2993 and 2994 being the most likely threat as they continue to rotate further into direct view. And here we are looking at Sunspot Group 2993 and 2994, and as you can see, the umbra is very well developed and very deep. These are absolutely possible of producing larger X flares than what we've already seen. All we saw was an X1.17, and these are absolutely capable of producing much larger than that. But we can see 1, 2, 3 very large, deep defined umbras. And it looks like it's got some friends in here. In fact, this is at the Space Weather Prediction Center. Let's go on over here to spaceweatherlive.com and really take a look here. And we've got our positive, which is the blue, and our negative being the red. And as you can see, it definitely has friends right next to it. Pretty decent ones, too. And then here we've got a very well-produced and defined negative. And then we've got a positive right here behind it. And look at this. There's another sunspot group right here behind it. This is a recipe for disaster, folks. We are definitely going to have a busy week ahead of us. So tinfoil hats on. Keep them handy. Goodness gracious. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water because it has been popping off like a son of a gun. Look at this. We're going to come over here to solar flares. Look at what we've had going on since that M flare. Boom, 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 boom. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4 M flares within the last, less than 24 hours. Yeah, right here. That's pretty big, and lots of C flares. So, and most of those, except for this one right here, this is the M4.4 that came from that one going around the limb on the western side. Oh, come on, get onto it. It doesn't want to do it. Well, ain't that a little stinker? Well, either way, you can see it right down here. It's an M4.4. And as we jump over here to take a look at our Enlil spiral from NASA, that's right, Enlil, as in Anunnaki Sumerian god, we can see that we did have a far side eruption going off, obviously, away from Earth. And it looks like, when you look here, it looks like it did hit the Solo and green dot here, green box. The Parker SP did take the brunt of that. It looks like a glancing blow actually did hit Osiris Rex. Wait a minute, Osiris? Isn't that like a Egyptian name, Osiris? Just food for thought. As we come over here and we take a look at spaceweatherpredictioncenter.noaa.gov, we can take a look at our ACE, MAG, and SWEPAM. And we can see that right here, our BZ and BT are actually looking pretty good. There is a little bit of activity, a little bit of bouncing, but overall, our magnetosphere is actually doing quite well. Speaking of magnetosphere, let's come on over here and take a peek at our, guess what? Magnetosphere cut planes, provided to us by the University of Michigan. And as we can see, we do have a constant amount of pressure, bouncing around -20, which is about average actually when we have solar winds. But we should definitely keep our eyes open on what? Somebody had sent me this. One of my subs, she sent me this right here with the sun with the flare that we had, the next 1.17 yesterday. It says she found this and sent it to me, and I thought it was kind of funny and cute. Like, all right, I can see where you're going with this, but this is definitely the sunspot group we need to be paying attention for. I don't know. What do you guys think? Does this kind of look like this? Or this? Huh. I don't know. It kind of does. I mean, the positioning is right. I mean, look at the size of the hole here that we've got going on around that sunspot group. That's pretty intense, if you ask me. Look at the size of these magnetic field connections. They're pretty big. Then look at this one here. It is just popping off there. I mean, I can kind of see it. Can you guys see it? Definitely looks pretty crazy there. Look at these lines. Look at all that plasma. Ooh. Definitely keep our eyes open. Make sure you hit that notification bell for any critical future updates. I will make sure that when we have some major flares, something to report, I will be on here doing a live premiere. So that way everybody can look at all that just coming in. Wow, that's nuts. Well, I guess it's not too far-fetched then, is it, huh? It's not too far to fetch to think that that kind of looks like that. It's just very interesting. I love it when some of my followers send me stuff and it kind of correlates, you know. So just keep your eyes open, folks. No fear, and remember that love is the only way forward.